Morning and welcome from the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota. This is Sean Murray alongside Evan Jensen.
Good morning, Sean.
Morning, Evan. Bringing you the coverage from the U.S. Open of Curling. It's draw number 4. And this morning, we've got Team Kim from Korea playing the Redstones versus Team Jason Smith playing the Yellowstones. I think we can expect to see from this Smith team is, the Kim team is a lot of offense. They're not afraid to put rocks in place, seem to make a lot of big shots. They're 3-0 so far. So a win this morning will guarantee them first place in their pool, put them in the playoffs.
Smith with the hammer out of the gate.
This is Smith lead. Dan Reel's first shot attempted come around is coming up a long way short. Oof. Barely over the hog line. Come around looks like maybe a little heavy. Maybe a lot heavy. Slides all the way through. Dan with the chance to make up for his mistake on his first one. Put a little more mustard on this, get in there. Line is nice on this, but it's carrying a little bit.
It's going to stick around there.
Just hangs on the back edge of the forefoot.
Kim looking to follow him down.
Line looks pretty good on this. And you'll see is no lack of curl on these rocks. These were sanded up prior to the event.
Comes up just a hair short.
Doesn't quite get shot stone. Not in a bad spot though. Everything around the center is to Korea's advantage. So first look at Matt Carlson. Matt is another of my Super League teammates. Been playing with him for a couple years now in Super League. He's got a pretty shot there. Very nice shot.
It puts him in a nice position there.
Kim's now going to look to duck around everything.
It's looking close.
Yeah, line's looking good. This will finish in there if the weight's right. Ooh, nice.
Wow.
That's a beauty. Hard to believe that shot's even makeable, but that's what freshly sanded rocks will get you. So now looking to hit what he can see of that yellow stone that Matt just put there. Hit that roll away, try to expose the mostly covered red Korean rock. This has a lot of moving to do. It's trying. Might actually go by and... Ooh.
Not ideal.
Don't really think that's what Matt wanted there. Pushes their own back one far back enough that Korea is now sitting 2. With a mess of guards up there and Korea about to throw another one. Big advantage for them at the moment. I don't think Smitty's going to have, excuse me, I don't think Smitty's going to have any option but to try and clear some guards on his next shot, because he doesn't really have a good look at much of anything at the moment. Comes in a little tighter. That's a pretty much freezing on that yellow stone in the house. Basically, my goodness. Apparently I need some water. Pretty much impossible to remove that stone, but you can still disturb that cluster. Hit it on the right side as we're looking at it. You'll get that yellow to drag into the red second shot and probably get rid of it, at least move it out of the way.
Any movement here should help them.
Yeah, you just got to get rid of something. This is Tim Solon. Not throwing a ton of weight on this. Gets rid of the second shot Korean stone. Rolls themselves in for second. Pretty good shot. Only bad thing is that they expose their own second shot for Korea to make a hit and roll. It was hard to do much better than that with the way those were laid out. Trying to make this curl. It's definitely not rolling in.
Doesn't really leave Smitty with much.
No. I think his best option might be to play a similar kind of draw to what Korea played to get in there in the first place.
Yep.
There's definitely enough room. You can get...
From either side, really.
Yep. Yeah, the line might be a little better to come from the left side as we're looking at it, but that side hasn't been played yet, so no one knows his speed.
I don't mind this call.
Yeah, this isn't wrong either. This is not the easiest shot. You can't see much of this. Smitty wants to leave himself something reasonably open. This is the best way to do that. If you try the draw and it's not made, he's not really going to have much. Got to hit something here. Uh-oh.
Not looking good.
Whoops. Tim upping the weight a little bit on that, breezing by everything. That's Not a very good miss. Now Korea, if they want to, they can play the draw we were talking about. They're going to play the fresh path. Knows he might have to throw just a little bit extra weight over here because there has not been a stone down this side.
They get one down in there in the top 4, top button. Jason's gonna have a tough shot to even get one.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be some kind of a hero. Get rid of the guards, or maybe come off of one of these ones on the right over there. Maybe we'll have to see where this ends up.
It's looking close.
Line's really good. Just gets in there for second shot. Pretty good there.
Looks like he's going to go for a hit here. Try to hit as much as he can see.
Yeah, this is an ambitious call. I can see what he's trying to do. Hit as much of this as you can. Drive it onto the second shot stone that was just put there by Kim, and try and drive that back onto the button rock. Try and just clear the middle a little bit. This is definitely no picnic. Let's try it again. You could just play the out-turn draw, and actually Smitty's going to come down and talk about it. Maybe he got in the hack and realized how little of that he could see. I think I'm kind of feeling the draw here.
Because if he would go for the hit and not make, not get rid of much, Kim would just guard it up and
then you have nothing.
Nothing.
You have a really hard shot. I think this is probably the smart play. I like this. At least get something in there for second shot to where if you end up giving up a steal, most likely you're only going to give up one. That's not a big deal.
looking a little heavy here.
Yeah, this needs to stop. Ooh.
Not good.
No. Throw one high, block that draw path. You could see them play that shot. That's a shot to put maximum pressure if executed correctly, but if it's not executed correctly, it could give Jason a little bit of an easier out on his last one. The idea on this one would be to throw it short, out of your hand. Don't put it on the tee line out of your hand. Just put it just short of the rings or just biting. If the line is good and it maybe has the weight, then the sweepers can drag it that extra bit to maybe get in there. Final rock for the Korean team. I don't think it has the weight to get to the 4-foot.
It's going to take that one just a hair.
Sweep it to bounce it just a bit.
Still a pretty good shot.
Pretty effectively blocks off the draw.
Leaves Jason with that in-off on the right.
Yeah, he's got two options. He could play the red one. It's extremely flat. I don't know that he can actually get shot by playing that. Best he could hope for is to roll in for second.
He could play off the yellow.
That one would give him at least an angle to maybe get in there for shot. That's probably the one I would play. I'm not sure how likely it is to actually score with this one. This will definitely have some heat on it. Jason's one of the guys who can definitely put some mustard on rocks. Be close. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's really good shot, but I don't think it was possible to actually score playing that.
You hit it any thicker, it's not going to roll that far.
Exactly.
You need a lot more weight.
Not going to roll. Yeah, and then it's just out of control.
Yep.
But he does the best he could, cuts the damage to a steal of 1, and we will have the second end for you. Smith will still have hammer down 1 right after this. Back with the second end. Well played end for the Korean team. Manufactured a steal of 1. Jason Smith with a great shot just to cut them down. Once again, Korean throws up the guard, and once again, Jason looking to come around it. Really nice weight there from Dan. Doesn't quite get buried, but it settles into a nice position. Top corner of the 4-foot.
Looks like Kim's choosing to go for the hit.
Yeah, looks like just throw a nice hack to board. Hit it, try to sit right there. It's pretty tough to get an inside roll.
Good shot.
Dan to look for the roll now. Close, not quite, just to the nose. Still a good shot.
Leaves room for Kim to get the roll under.
The two teams just trading hits. Who's going to make the roll first? Whoever does, I imagine you'll see a run back after.
So it's looking close. Again, just nose.
Creeping higher and higher in the rings with every shot, which is going to make the following run back that much simpler. Just can't seem to find the right spot to make the roll. It's not the problem.
Yeah, they're all throwing great weight for that roll, too.
She rolls a little away now. Roll should be a bit easier to call this time. You've got a lot more rings to roll into. This is really going. Oh, my goodness.
Or are they even going to catch a piece?
They'll catch a piece, but I don't think they're ever staying. Just moved out into a different piece of ice and lost that one. And you'll see Kim play the come around. Got to go to get this by, I think. Doesn't quite have the weight.
Leaves Smitty with a chance to come under himself.
Yeah, gonna stay with the offense. I like it. Not much else to do anyways, unless you want a really boring game, which nobody does. Certainly not the 36 people that are watching this right now. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Sean Murray, Evan Jensen. This is the 2018 U.S. Open of Curling. Blaine, Minnesota. Looks like the weight is perfect on this, but will it finish?
It's going to be a little deep.
Yeah, weight's a little deep. Go behind the tee line. They kind of got burned on a stone behind the tee line in the center last time.
They did.
And ended up with a steal. We're going to see if that happens again.
Kim looking to freeze on that back yellow one. Weight's looking close.
Line's looking real good if the weight's right.
Nice shot.
Comes right down to it. So that shrinks the scoring area considerably. Houston's going to want to get in there to just the top of the 4-foot. Tim's going to try and take just a hair off of this one. Running a little bit.
Yeah, still a little heavy. Actually, a little heavier than the last one.
Yeah, just a fraction, chips and rolls off, and oof.
Leaves a red one in a better spot for Kim.
Yeah, that one's not going anywhere. He was asking his teammates to see how much of that yellow they see from the hack, if there's any space, because it's close enough to that red that if there wasn't a guard up there, you could come off of that yellow and punch the red sideways. But I don't really think that's a makeable shot. That guard is just in the way enough. So Kim's just going to bring another one around.
Yeah, even if there was, I think the come around is still probably the better option.
I agree.
Because
Definitely.
if you get one under there, again, if he, that back double doesn't really give you much.
No.
For Smitty.
No. Once again, there's now basically 2 ends in a row that Smitty's team has kind of burned themselves with draws going behind the tee line.
Sweepers are going hard. It's close. It's a great shot.
That's really, really nice.
Dead buried behind that guard. Smitty might be forced to play a run here.
I don't think he really has much of a choice.
No.
You've got to open up the button. So I think the best place for Smitty to hit this is I think he wants to cross the face a bit, hit it on the right as we're looking at it. Drive it back onto the button stone, and he's hoping the button stone catches the other red and gets the yellow out from behind it. He'll never lose the one back there, but I think he's hoping that if he can hit this correctly, he might bait Kim into playing an open hit.
It's going to be close. Oh,
Actually
curl
misses
too
everything
much.
in the house. Kim's content to just throw a guard. I think that's the best call.
Yeah, putting another one in just would risk Smitty throwing a double. But
well,
he's still sitting one more in the back there, though.
Yeah, you could, that's the only way you're going to give Jason a relatively simple shot, maybe to score one. Of course, if you made any kind of draw or tap or whatever perfectly, there's every chance you could steal more than one. But
yeah, even
really,
coming.
No need to be greedy.
No, but you could play it down right down to that top 4 one
if you wanted to.
And
sure.
again, what does that leave What does that leave Jason?
Right. Got to go to make this curl.
Yeah, they need to get back to the center, and it's going to be close.
Looks like it just gets there and gets there enough. Oh boy, I'm not sure what Jason has. He might be able to just sneak by the shot stone and grab a piece of the button to score. It's really tough. Coming this way, I think the main objective here has to be damage control, at least touch a piece of the forefoot. Those yellows are far back enough that I don't know if you can come back to those and be out counting the back one. It's pretty close, but you'd rather not. You don't want to find out that you were wrong.
Nope.
So hammer stone for Jason Smith. Looking to count down a steal of 2 at the moment.
It's looking really close.
Line's pretty good. He's not going to score, but he will put it on the tee line and cut it down to a steal of 1. So Jason making good on his damage control, but not had a whole lot to look at so far.
No.
So second consecutive steal of 1. That's going to put the Kim team up 2-0. Smith will still have the hammer playing the third end, and we'll have that for you right after this.
Back here in the third end. Kim up 2-0 against Jason Smith.
And just really what's been hurting the Smith team so far is these draws around the center. We've 2 ends in a row now. The draw that's come around the center has ended up going behind the tee line, and the Kim team has just popped on it every time. And so Jason's realizing that hasn't worked out. He's going to switch and going to go to the corner guard game, and I would have liked to have seen this last end myself. It's still early enough. Only a 2-point game. Looking for the corner. Looks like he's got a pretty good one. And it keeps going and goes way over to the side. Not covering a whole lot of rings. Kim team going to keep play towards the middle where they want it. This by. Not quite. Just a little bit light, but stops in a decent position. I don't think either of those are biting, and I don't think Jason would hit those even if they were.
Dan looking to make use of his first corner guard.
With the 5-rock rule, Korea cannot peel that even on the next shot yet. Super's not very interested in this one.
Just a little heavy. Nope. Sticks around though.
But it'll sit down. That's a good shot. Going back there, even though it's behind the tee line, it's not really a problem over there. It's drawing play to the sides, and that's where Smitty and team would like the play to go. Give them a chance to clean up the middle later. They're just looking for the freeze. Doesn't quite get to freeze, but still in a pretty good spot. Very tough to remove that without jamming on the yellow behind it.
Sounds like they can see about half of it.
Yeah, I think he's asking for board weight from Matt Carlson. Try to, I believe the call was to hit and kind of roll back towards the center.
It's going to be close. Oh, wow. Oh, missed the back one, too.
That was not an easy shot at all. Pretty much what Jason called.
Yeah, perfect weight from Matt.
My only concern, again, not trying to sound like a broken record, once again, they've gone right behind the tee line in the middle.
Yeah, a lot of room for Kim to draw under those guards and get right back to that yellow one.
Yeah, he can come either way.
Or even.
But up two, he's maybe elected to go a little bit on the defense, especially with 2 buried Smith rocks in there. So he's going to ask for a run back. Anything. Nope.
Didn't catch enough of it.
Rolls over and provides a little bit of additional protection for that stone on the side. So Smith team getting some chances here. Sitting 2, both behind the tee line being the only unfavorable thing, but
both in pretty good spots though.
Yeah, not really in terrible spots, especially if this called come around is made. You're going to see Korea probably have to play a run back again. Matt Carlson with the hot hand on that last shot. See if he still got it on this draw.
You know, Matt's probably one of the few people you see, you know, when he throws, holding his broom in the air.
It's interesting. He starts off with it just touching, and it doesn't actually pick it up until he's out of the hack. And sometimes if he's really flailing, you better not be over him, because he'll lift it way up in the air to not go, you know, rump over tea kettle.
Oh, just a bit heavy.
That does not stop at a good spot.
You know, Kim looking to just freeze down on top of those, just like the previous 2 ends.
Line was perfect. It just needed to be about 4 or 5 feet lighter than that. Just like that, this end could dissolve quickly for the Smith team. to come down, sit right in the pocket of those two, and outcount everything.
This one taking its time to move.
Needs to move.
Should sit down in front of that top one, but it looks like it's going to tap just a hair.
Tap just a hair, so maybe just a fraction heavy, but
yeah,
doesn't really get there. And I think Tim can see all of that. Well, you have a choice if you're Jason. You could play some kind of a hit on that. You could also just tap it back.
Yeah, back weight, or back 8 weight hit tap wouldn't be bad here.
Yeah, you don't have to tap it very far to be sitting 2 or even 3. Again, the thought process is, what are you going to leave? You know, something else Jason could think about doing is actually hitting this on the right, losing one of his own, but killing the red and kind of rolling back towards the corner. And then there's only one single Smith stone that's behind the tee line in the center, and it's not really guarded.
It's a good idea.
So it doesn't leave a dead buried freeze.
Yep.
I do think they need to move it in some manner. And I'm that cluster behind the 4-foot, I'm not a fan of, especially with hammer.
No.
I think they need to disturb that. Be willing to sacrifice one of their own. Having a little discussion about it. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, it seems like he's leaning for the hit and roll in.
Yeah, he's dead set on rolling towards the middle, and that's not bad. It's not really my preferred play, but I'm not out there.
Yep.
So, well, looking to keep the pressure on, and I think he wants to keep as many of his own rocks around as well. Probably just, I'd say, solid board to maybe control on this.
Yeah, with the rocks here at Four Seasons, you don't need to hit much of the rock for them to roll quite a bit. They're pretty active rocks.
Yeah.
They're going to hit a little on the outside.
See, I think I kind of like that play sort of better, just with a little more weight to roll away further.
Yep.
I think it didn't work out too bad. Only problem is it left a double on the 2 shot stones that, if made, could potentially leave.
Could you get a trip?
It's close.
Yeah.
I don't know if you make contact with that side one.
No, I think it'd cut up towards the top.
Yeah,
more.
I don't think Kim's terribly concerned about any
No.
triple. I think he just wants to make these two, even just a hit and roll in front of that back one would be really good too. Pretty good. Double, but rolls pretty much sunken.
I think there's enough room to come around that guard and tap that back.
I think you could definitely move that. Could move it very far. You probably can't throw much more than back line. Maybe throw hack and get rid of it. He's calling for hack weight.
I don't mind getting rid of the guard either. This is Tim's last rock.
Yeah, you got to make sure you move one of these. And the tricky thing is, if you hit the guard, where is it going? You kind of hate to push it in for, like 3rd shot or something, and then suddenly Kim can have an open hit to sit 3.
Yeah, they'd be better off hitting the guard on the right side and rolling in, trying to roll under that guard over on the right. But
yeah, if they were playing that turn
Yeah.
for sure.
But it looks like he's going for the one in the forefoot.
Big shot here. This will determine pretty much which way this end's going to go.
Oh man.
It's on the guard.
It's going to push the guard up over under the guard.
If it rolls out though. All right, so settles for fourth shot. Not bad. That is really not bad. It's now
got a bit lucky on that one.
Yeah. They actually really got away with one there. Did probably the best they could. Now sitting second and third, Kim has to hit this second shot stone. Now what he's thinking about is where can I roll to where I don't leave a double for Smith to sit two. I don't think he's going to play it, but if Kim was a gambling man and really feeling daring, I think he could actually get rid of both of these yellows by catching a piece of his own red.
I was looking at that too.
And driving it onto the yellow shot stone and rolling the shooter over to the other one. I think that's kind of insane to play with a 2-point lead.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just like to point stuff out like that. So I think what he's looking at is he wants to hit and he wants to roll to the right as we're looking at it. Back up there to about, say, 1 o'clock, 1:30. Just have a piece of the 8-foot. Still be sitting two, but make any double as difficult as possible.
Gonna be close.
It's not gonna roll very far. Sits right there. There's a couple different ways to go about this. Yes, there is a double there. It's very, very thin on that first one. And one saving grace about it is that more than likely if you play that, you're gonna end up spinning over to the left. But they've got their own stone hanging on there that would probably be a catcher for it.
Mm-hmm.
The other option, and I know Tim signaled this, is just to hit the shot stone and roll in front of the other one. And be only sitting one. And there's neither call is wrong. Based on the weight choice, I think the hit and roll is the call. Oh, just a little too much roll.
Leave Korea sitting one.
Yeah, it looks like Korea is one. Yep. Almost perfect. So close.
Yeah, since Kim is shot, he's looking to just draw another one in.
Yeah, it kind of rolled to a tricky spot in that you can't. I mean, you could just hit it.
Yep.
You hit it, and then the most Smith gets is two. The trouble with drawing is that if you ever try a draw and it ends up in the wrong spot, you're going to give Jason a chance to maybe three. So you need to be very, very careful. A couple different places you could put it. You could put it just biting the back of the 4-foot over at about, say, 2 o'clock there. Have them dead flat to where there is no double. You could put it on that same line, but just biting the very top of the 4 and have it be really steep.
Looks like they're going to try to freeze down on, just corner freeze that yellow.
Yeah, and that's not a bad shot because if they line that up correctly.
I mean, they could be sitting two with
Could be sitting 2, and depending on the lineup, Jason might still have a shot for 2 at the most.
Or just a straight jaw for 1.
Yep. I think the trick on this one is that you gotta be thinking that a little short is completely okay. If you end up guarding that situation, it's not the worst.
Nope.
The stone, you know, the only trick is you probably want to be in the rings. That's. Laying off this might have a little extra speed on it.
Oh. Looks like they're going to come down to their own.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ooh. That was the danger with playing that shot. They end up grouping their own rocks and
basically a nose hit for 3.
pretty much a nose hit for 3. Corner guard strategy might just be about to pay off for Jason and team. You know, one shot Korea didn't look at, I think it may have been there, would have been the crosshouse double. Hit the yellow fat and roll over towards the other one. I can't say I was a terribly big fan of the draw in that situation. Jason, no mistake, makes a great double, picks up a big 3, and takes the lead 3-2 over Kim from Korea, and got a little bit of a barn burner here, Evan.
Yep.
So we'll have the 4th end. Kim is going to have the hammer down 1. We'll have that for you right after this. So some very fine and patient shooting from the Smith rink earns them a big 3 points. Take the lead over this Korean team 3-2. So now up on the scoreboard, Dan Reel's going to put the first one in. It's going to slip a little bit deep. Hangs on to a piece of the button. Korea is now going to go on the offense with the corner guards.
It's their first end of the game with hammer.
Yep. Looking to throw a tight center guard. If this happens to trickle into the house, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Nope. Sweepers are on it. Got a lot of room to cover here.
This has to curl though.
Yeah. Dan not happy about that one.
Yeah, it just doesn't curl. It ends up being another corner guard for Korea. with this. Looks like they're electing to play the hit.
Pretty soft weight hit here.
Just a quiet hit and roll, pretty nice.
Great roll.
Not a lot of weight on that.
Nope.
Notice that shot was executed and given to the sweepers because it was at most board weight. One of the things that newer curlers might not understand is, oh, if I'm hitting and rolling somewhere, I got to throw a lot of weight. No, you really don't. Now, it does, I will grant, it does depend on the quality of the stones you're playing with. If you're playing on 60-year-old club rocks that have striking bands, you know, the size of double width Band-Aids, well, you hit half a rock and they roll a foot, and that's fine. Okay, I get there. You got to throw a lot of weight, but here with good condition rocks, you can make a roll with hack weight if you hit it right. So looking to just come down to this one. This is Matt Carlson's first of the fourth end. Looking like he's got a beauty. Very, very nice. Matt's playing really well. Playing really well. As I was saying earlier, he plays with me in Super League here, and he's had a pretty solid season. I think he fancies himself a power hitter, and he can certainly throw the weight. I'm hoping at some point we can see his massive backswing if he has to throw a peel, but he's actually got a fantastic touch game. This is coming up a ways short.
Yeah, a little over curl as well. Just kind of catch that front guard, sit short.
Just taps it a little bit, but does not end up in a good position for the Kim team at all. Very, very tough to do a whole lot with that.
Jason looking to have Matt throw almost the same shot again, get it back under both guards.
You'd love to come right to your own. Line them both up on that red. This is also checking up. Just a little bit light for Matt more than anything. The line was okay. Moves the guards around, and now that red is usable if Kim wanted to use it. I think he'd be okay with just opening things up a little bit too.
Yeah, hitting any one of those in the front there would aid him.
I see what he's thinking. He wants to. A is clear off that center yellow guard, hit it on the broom side, and then hope to make contact with the red that's next to it and actually push it into the rings somewhere. Trying to accomplish two things with this shot. Close. Does just push it into the house. A good shot there. I think Kim was maybe hoping to hit a little bit less of the yellow, a little more of the red. Because it did move into the rings, but it's still in front of that yellow shot stone that belongs to the Smith team. Jason's probably a little concerned because now there's 2 enemy rocks in there. He doesn't have the hammer. Probably have to guard this for now. Gonna ask Tim Solon to do just that. In there, it looks like.
Actually going to bump that red one a little bit.
That actually works out really, really well.
Yeah.
It taps it a bit and
takes that raise away.
Takes it completely away. I'm now hoping to clear out both of the yellows and open up that raise for him again.
Oh,
actually gets rid of everything. Pretty good shot.
Yep.
Pretty good shot. So now decision time for Jason. What do I do with this? I'm sitting one, but they have a second one in there, and they have a corner guard. Ask Tim to throw a hit, try to catch a piece of the yellow, drive the red out, hopefully save the shooter and be sitting 2.
Is it going to curl enough?
It's going to get rid of the red, but the shooter's never staying.
No.
He's not disappointed with that. Now with the middle open, Kim's going to try to make use of that corner guard that's been sitting over there pretty much all end. No one wants to play with me. Now someone's finally playing with it.
Line's looking pretty good on this one.
Yeah, I think the weight's pretty good too. They're just concerned about maybe slipping a little deeper than they wanted, but line is absolutely perfect. Settles down pretty much dead buried. Jason really no choice but to follow that rock. At this point, he's working on conserving the force. Just pretty much T-line weight will do him well here. Anywhere in front of that, he'll be in good shape to force one.
This one just looks a tad heavy.
That's a really good shot.
Oh, yeah.
Really good shot. Does the job. Straight flat. There is definitely no double on these yellows. Unless you're throwing from 3 sheets over or something. their options. I don't think it's much good to just corner freeze to that, because if you did, it'd be wide open, and it would just line up that yellow onto the back red. Jason could just throw some heat, kill them both. So I think Kim is going to try and tap this back. Wants to move it and try his very best to sit second and third. Definitely not an easy shot. You have to get all the way to the nose, and got to be just about backline weight. Looking shot on this one. Can he get it past the back one? No. Not quite. But it pushes that one far back enough that if he was throwing now, he would have a pass at a double. Jason again just going to look for the corner freeze. Have it angled towards the 4-foot a bit, be sitting 2, and there won't be any shot at more than 1 for Kim. Trick is you have to be on the broom side on this one. Can't afford to let it cross. Even a little tap isn't bad.
Well, it looks like what they're going to get.
Taps it a bit. Tapped it a long ways. Kim's looking at maybe he has a double for 2 here. I'm wondering about that too. Is it possible he would actually catch a little piece of that red back there, push it onto the other one, maybe even get 3 if he hits it just right? I don't know that the angles quite work out for that. It might.
It's close.
It is actually close. I think you're playing the double anyways. Definitely a gamble. I mean, you could just play the open hit, take 1, tie the game up. This isn't the hardest double. This is pretty close to what would be called a natural. It's a little less than half. It's probably about a third, I would say. Make that first, and if it works out correctly, you catch just a sliver of that red stone that's third shot. Possibly direct onto that yellow back there. But that's really kind of a bonus. I think mission 1 is just make the double first. So we'll see, big shot.
Sweepers are going hard.
Pretty close.
Oh. Well,
he ends up killing his own, but is that one going to stay?
It does.
Just barely hangs on.
Wow.
Gets 2 very much the hard way. Boy, what a shot. So, pretty exciting conclusion to that end.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd lose that outside red one. I thought it would either catch that one or just hit and go past.
They hit it so fat that it just hit both of them really full. But as it happens, Kim manages to pull out 2 in a very interesting end and takes the lead back from Smith, now up 4-3. Smith's going to get the hammer back as we go into the bottom half of the game. And we will have that for you right after this. Back with the start of the fifth end here. Up one. Kim team without Hammer electing to throw the center guard. Jason probably well remembering how in the first two ends his team got burned by center line come-arounds that went behind the T line. He's going to have Dan draw it to the wing.
Smith was able to score 3 using corner guards in the third end.
Yeah, in this situation myself, down a bit on the scoreboard, I might be inclined to throw the corner.
Now, were they going to put one into the rings, or were they going for the corner guard on that one?
I think the call was to go in.
Okay.
Yeah. That call tells me there that Jason is probably going to try to work towards blanking this end. He's going to be going in, hoping to maybe get a hit and roll out at some point, and then he can peel that center guard. Kind of works. He gets the hit and roll out, but it's too early. He can't peel the guard yet. Is he going to go back there? Yep.
Sweepers are going hard to get this one in.
Matt and Tim working to get it there. They'll get it there.
We go.
See Kim play the hit again. Now if this is above the T line, there is a chance for a roll into the center. Now up to 50 people watching. Glad everyone could join us. Looks like it's right on the nose. Jason almost certainly looking to play the hit. Basically just stay right there. He doesn't want to go onto the center because he knows Kim will follow him if he does. Just like that.
There we go. It's a good shot there.
Yeah, Matt's having a really solid game so far.
Kim looking to roll under the center.
Pretty close.
Oh.
Just rolls to where you can see edge to edge. Pretty tough to roll under. You could just aim to hit it square on the nose. Make Kim follow you with the same shot.
This one looking to
roll over to the wing of it. Another good shot. Gotta go hard. This might be breezing. Uh-oh. Oh,
takes it.
just gets a piece, and this, I think this is what Jason's been playing for all end. And yep, gonna hustle up there, peel that guard. So he was definitely looking to blank the whole time.
Trying to keep hammering the even ends, I'm guessing.
That's what it seems to be.
Are you gonna get the roll?
Not gonna roll out, just kind of rolls to a corner guard. Kim is very interested in forcing Smith to take one this end. So even though it's a corner guard and doesn't have the hammer, he's going to come around that.
Got room around the guard here. Weight's looking pretty good.
That's pretty much a perfect shot. I see Jason maybe play the run back here. Depends on. He's just going to throw a hack. Boy, oh boy, I don't know how much Tim can see of this thing. Can't be much. Obviously, the miss here is tight. Getting the guard out of the way is okay, and I think that's what Tim's going to do. Probably just a little tight. Jason called for sweeping right away. We'll see how Kim wants to do this. He could bring a second one in. He could guard the one that's in there already.
I like the option of putting in a second one in under that guard.
I think I like that too. You just need to be very careful about where you put it. You absolutely cannot slip behind the tee line if you do that. So it looks like that's what Kim is elected to do. He's going to bring a second one in. And it might seem just a little strange for the team without hammer to be going under a corner guard, but we're only down to skip rocks now, and Kim's only real thought is forcing Smith to take one, and I think this is probably the best way to do that. Get two in there.
point guard.
Also rather not set up a double.
Definitely not behind the tee line.
Yeah, they're not really happy with that. That's going to give Jason a chance to make the double and get out of this end. Probably about half a rock, I'd say.
I think you're right.
Half a rock, no real need to be shy with the weight.
Tim calling him off.
Oh, is he breezing it? Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
Oh, just an overthrow there from Jason.
Got a little carried away on that one.
Yeah.
Any hit would have been better. But
yeah, that's just like I said, just a bit of an overthrow, trying to hit that driver that you normally hit 260, trying to make it go 320, and
yep.
you do that more often than not and shank into the woods. That's me. I don't know if you golf at all.
I
but,
do.
You know, I have fun with it, but I wouldn't call what I do golfing. I call it hitting golf balls around golf courses. I have fun with it. I'm not good at it, and that's okay.
As long as you're having fun.
Oh, yeah. So now, Kim team trying to talk about what's the best thing to do here. Where can we put this? There's a couple ways you could do this. You could just drop one sort of top 8 right in the middle. Just make Jason have to make some sort of double even to score. You could tap the one on the right straight back into the 4-foot. Probably make him have to draw against 3. Skip seems to have settled on a shoddy slide to the hack, and the rest of his team is talking about what to do. So,
I think I like the call in the middle.
Yeah.
It's got to be top 12, top 8, nothing more.
Yeah.
But that takes away, or limits the chance for Jason to get one.
Based on that ice, maybe they're playing the tap. It's hard to really be sure.
Looks like it's got the weight for the tap. Yep.
Tap was a call pretty good. Gets it into the 4-foot.
Leaves an open draw.
Yeah.
But he's almost got to get to the button. Full 4.
Yeah, got to be full 4. This is against 3 with no backing. This end really quickly went from, I got exactly what I wanted to, oh man, now I have to make a great shot just to save the end. He's got to put that flash he just threw out of his mind, settle down and lay down a nice draw for his brushers. Watch it, it's curling.
Looks a little light, too.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Just checking up. Oh, jeez.
Oh. Steal of 3.
Steal of 3. The sweepers seem to like it, too. They seemed really happy with it. They weren't really going that hard on it a long time, and it just curled hard. Is just light. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. And that's a killing blow. So again, that's a steal of 3. The Kim team takes a Pretty commanding 7-3 lead over Smith now heading into the sixth end. Smith team needing to regroup and try to manufacture some offense, and we'll have that for you right after this. So we're following a big steal of 3. Kim team now holds a big 4-point lead, and you're going to see nothing but defense from these guys. They're going to put them in and start clearing stuff as soon as they can. Smith team is going to have to go hard on the offense. Try and get back into this one. Just not really sure what happened on Jason's last shot there. Like I was saying before, that both Dan and Matt seemed pretty happy with it. They didn't jump on it right out of his hand. They were reasonably sweeping it but not crushing it, and it started curling hard, and I don't know if they thought it grabbed or maybe just misread it or something. Hard to say.
Kim looking to put one right down on top of their last one. Weight looks really nice. Didn't curl as much as they were hoping, but I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't quite finish to the nose. It's in a decent spot. Jason will have Dan establish the second corner. And I'm going to have assuming this is made, we're going to have a good look at how 5-rock rule changes how teams approach this situation. Because normally, in the past of 4-rock, Korea would just start peeling guards. Guard, peel, guard, peel. Well, they're not going to be able to peel either one of these. So we'll see if maybe the best defense is a good offense. Maybe bring a third one in. Maybe throw a guard of some sort.
Oh, wow.
Where's that going?
I don't know.
It kind of
just curled off to the side.
Just fudged something right at the end there.
Good weight. Both Dan's rocks there.
So see, it looks like Korea's opting to bring a third stone in. Again, they cannot peel yet.
Weight looking pretty good. Going to get a little tap here.
I think that's pretty much where they wanted it. So now a stack of 3 in there, and we've been playing 5-rock rule in Super League here in Blaine, and on And I think that's kind of been my leaning too when I'm in a similar situation. If I'm ahead, I just kind of start piling them in the house. And, you know, because that's just that many more rocks that the opposition team has to deal with.
Yep.
I mean, up 4, you sure don't want to be throwing any guards.
Nope. And both those corners are, you know, far enough off to the side that a tick really doesn't do you a whole lot.
Oh, and a tick is...
And it could... Go ahead.
A tick is a tough enough shot anyways, but ticking that corner guard is just doubly hurt.
Yep. And you don't want to leave your own shooter sitting around up front if you hit it wrong.
So Matt Carlson looking to go behind the corner makes it pretty good. But still be able to see a third to maybe half of this rock.
Looks like they're going to peel the guard now.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Looking to hit it on the inside, not to shoot the yellow into the rocks in the house.
This call is also predicated by the fact that, as you can see, that stone is only 4th shot.
Oh, it is.
And it's in there buried, but it's not even 3rd.
Oh.
Good for the peel, might get the back one. Oh,
he got it.
No, good, makes the peel. See if Jason wants to. Probably he's going to come out of that corner again, but at some point he's going to have to deal with those stones in the middle. So I think he wants a couple in the house hanging around on the outside to give himself at least a chance at 2. You don't have anyone running stats on this game, but Matt's had a real solid game. I'd imagine he's at least in the 80s somewhere.
Yeah, I would think so. He's keeping all of his rocks in play.
Oh, did I jinx him?
Uh-oh. That's looking pretty good.
No, it looks pretty good. I was going to say if I jinxed him, like, sorry, Matt, my fault. No, he's got a really good looking one here.
Is it going to get under enough, though? Oh, there it goes.
It finishes real hard at the end and settles in for...
Again.
Is it?
Ooh, that one might be 3rd shot.
Man, it's close. I don't know. He did really about the best he could with both of those.
Yep. It must be pretty buried, and Kim's opting to hit the open one. To take away any chance for Jason to get a deuce.
Well, I imagine after this, because the buried rock is still going to be there, Jason's going to have to start dealing with some of these reds in the house in the next shot.
Oh, and they roll another one in.
Sit 4 all in a line. The way those are lined up. I'm trying to figure out if there's any sort of, can you?
I don't know if you can get more than 2.
Yeah, it's tough. Really, the way this is lined up, the toughest one to get rid of is the top one.
Yeah.
Because you have to hit it kind of on the right as we're looking at it. And your shooter's going to fly.
And if you hit too little of it, it might run right over into that yellow on the far left.
I kind of like what he's thinking here. He's thinking of hitting and rolling to the left and getting under the corner.
Yeah, I like that.
Must be throwing a fair bit of weight with that ice.
Tim Zolan's first rock here.
Can't really ask for super cruise missile weight because Tim doesn't really have that.
Oh, and he's going to hit it on the outside.
Oh, watch out for the yellow.
Oh, just missed.
Well, makes a double. Not bad.
No.
They leave themselves buried. So we'll see if Kim could just peel that corner now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the call. I think it was really critical to hold the shooter on that last one.
Yeah, even if they left 3 red ones sitting there, I think that would have, rolling off to the left would have been the better option.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that was the call too. I
Okay.
Maybe Tim might have just been a little wide on that one.
gets the peel.
So, might be thinking, well, why not just make the double? Well, you don't want to do that because you make the double, you're going to leave a double.
Yeah, I was thinking they could come just freeze right on that one.
That's one way of doing it. He did motion to maybe draw behind those two to the back 12. That would still leave a double off of the one on the left, though.
Yep.
I don't mind this too much, I think. The other option is you could just, you could play a hit on the reds, but hit it on the right side, let the one jam, and just roll to the other side of the rings. Keep your yellows as far apart as you possibly can. Give yourself the best chance at two. Go.
It's going to be close. Is it going to rub that top
I
one?
don't think they're by.
Oh,
Nope.
just a little bit. Not a terrible spot.
No, it winds up in a decent spot. I don't think. Pretty sure you can't double those because that one you hit is going to be all over the one that's behind it. Could maybe just hit it on the nose and leave your two stacked right on top of the button there.
Yep.
Side by side.
You hit it too much on the left, though. You leave both yellows sitting and a possible double for 3.
You could also just rip off the side one. Just peel off the side one. Jason's got to make some kind of a play in the middle, and it'd be really, really easy for him to leave his rocks grouped and leave you a simple double with your last one.
Could even play just a little tap on that too, or freeze to it.
That's just a little dicey because you're up 4. You don't really need to be playing,
True.
Taps or freezes. I think a hit of some kind is called for. It's just a matter of, really, I think the two options are either you hit this one on the nose, lose the red behind it, sit right there, or you just peel off the side one. Looks like he's more interested in hitting the shot stone. Coming down here. Not going to get it right on the nose. It's going to cross a bit.
Wow.
That worked out pretty good. So there's a couple of different ways to go about this. You could just freeze on that one. If you make that successfully, I can almost guarantee you Kim will just peel off the side one and say, have your deuce. You could try to hit it and roll to the right as we're looking at it. Maybe try to use that red as some kind of cover. Looks like they're going to elect to play the freeze. I have to imagine Kim's whole thought here was clear out the middle as much as possible and if a really good shot is executed here, I can always rip that side one, and the worst I'm giving up is 2.
Sweepers are staying close.
They must think it has the weight.
Just a little tap. It's a good shot.
Yep, that'll do the job. He's sizing up making the double, but I don't think it's worth it.
No, I think the yellow is going to catch and just stick around.
Well, and what you'd absolutely hate to do is hit it way too fat, jam it, stick it, and not get the side one either. And then suddenly, from nothing, they're getting a chance at 3. And he's going to peel a shot stone. That's the best call, I think.
Yeah, because if they get rid of it, leave their reds, he's got a shot for 1.
Yeah, there may be a shot for 2, but it's an incredibly hard shot. Just a couple of feet of extra weight there. So just looking to pick this one clean. No mistake. Kim's a very, very accurate hitter. We've seen that all weekend. So now decision time for Jason. He's going to take it on. He probably feels he has to, down 4. This is so thin. This is more of a redirect than anything. You're hitting maybe an inch of that stone on the right. Big shot here. Really hard shot to try and get 2.
Man, it's sweeping hard. I think he's going to get too much of it.
He's hitting it too fat, just trying to roll in for 1.
Oh, and he gets it.
Gets 1 the hard way.
Oh.
So with that, that's going to be 1 for Smith. They narrow the deficit to 7-4, but that's going to give Team Kim the hammer back with a 3-point lead, and that's very strong position for the Koreans. We will have the 7th end right after this. So down 3 and not having the hammer, you can bet that the Smith team is going to be throwing guards. Throwing the high center. I've seen some schools of thought to where if you're trying to steal 2 or 3, if you're trying to give yourself a chance to steal 2 or 3, you actually throw a couple of corner guards. Give yourself more room to hide more rocks. And you're kind of banking on a miss at some point. So Maybe he's signaling to draw into the top 4, but not buried. Doesn't want to give Smith something to freeze to and be under cover. Coming up at 2 o'clock Central today, our feature match will be Todd Burr versus Brandon Corbett. That will be the last round of pool play. The way the playoffs work here, it's 11 teams total in the field. It was 12, but we had a team that was trying to get down from Winnipeg decide to withdraw due to weather conditions. So it ended up being 11 teams, a pool of 5 and a pool of 6. The pool A is the pool of 6. Pool B is the pool of 5. Top 3 teams from Pool A will make the playoffs. Top 2 teams from Pool B will make the playoffs. There will be a playoff game between the 4th place team in Pool A and the 3rd place team in Pool B for the 6th and final playoff spot. That will be our feature match tonight at 6 o'clock Central. We do not know yet who that will be.
Tiebreakers will also be held at 6 o'clock if there are any, correct?
That's correct. If there are any other necessary tiebreakers. I'm just hoping there aren't tiebreakers to determine 3rd and 4th in those pools. If there are, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it.
Could be a 9 o'clock draw.
Could be. 4 games in a day?
Yeah.
Ready? Oh, man.
Brutal. Oh, pretty good shot there.
Worked out. Not quite sure that's what they called, but it works out.
Moved everything around and got rid of the yellow.
So you see we have our first final of this draw. Jed Brundage defeats Kelly Marnock by a score of 11-5 by taking 6 in the 6th end. It's quite a way to finish.
Yeah, Brundage clawed back in that one. They were down. Oh, never mind. I read it wrong.
Read it the other way?
Yeah. Thought they were down 5-0 at once, but I was wrong. Still a good win for them.
Hard to tell who's second. The Korean stone over on the right is obviously first shot, but not really sure who's second. Not that it's a big consequence this early point in the end. They're going to be peeling off the guard.
Smith looking to replace that guard. Good shot from Matt. Korea will just keep on peeling this guard. They're more than happy to do that. Try not to hit their side one. They save it. Sooner or later, Jason's going to have to make a move into the rings. Not quite yet. He might do it on Tim's last, possibly his own shots, maybe his first. This one gets a bit deeper.
Yeah, that's probably a little too close. You can get rid of both of those yellows now.
Yep. I think that's what Kim is going to elect to do. Or try.
Just the one. Watch out for it in the house, though. Whoop.
Oh.
Well, got rid of the roam, but doesn't jam it dead, so not too bad. Tim will try again to put that guard up. Not quite as tight this time. Sweeper's calling out that it's got the same weight. Don't really want that.
It ends up being about the same.
Pretty close.
Kim's got another chance at the double.
And with no stone over there to jam on, maybe go a little harder for this. And
Gets it.
gets it just right. Great shot. Steele is looking like not the most likely outcome at this point.
Nope.
Jason's going to throw the center. Hoping against hope that he can bait Kim to maybe come around it. I can pretty much guarantee you that that will not happen.
No. They'd almost be better off playing the freeze on that right red one, but
it's nothing really good to do here.
no. Oh, and that's really short. Unless he wanted the guard, I don't know.
Oh, the guard was the call.
It was the
Yes.
guard? Oh, okay.
was throwing the
I
guard.
thought he tapped in the house.
No.
Okay.
No, like I said, he was throwing the guard, hoping that he could somehow
Yeah, okay.
bait Kim into coming around it. But no, it's,
Could just nose it though. He doesn't get the peel.
yeah, that's the thing. And maybe he's hoping for a nose or a flash or something. Doesn't seem to be any concern.
Routine peel. Now they're looking at the freeze.
They're looking at the, yep. You could also maybe tuck a piece around it. Not many good places for this. For any kind of freeze to be worth anything, it has to be shot. In order for it to be shot, it's barely going to be on the red at all.
Yep.
Going behind it, even if made. Kim might just draw for one. He could try a short run for two if he wants to basically end the game.
Sweepers are going hard. It's close.
It's up to the red, and
That's about as good as you're going to get. Short of
tough to do any better than that. I think the yellow is just shot. Kim's probably just going to rip this. More than happy to take one. He might actually blow everything up, and he's going to end up blanking the end. I'm sure he's not too disappointed about. So blank end. He's going to keep the hammer. He's going to keep his 3-point lead, and Jason Smith is going to have to try to find some way to manufacture a steal of 3 to put this one into extras. And we'll see how that goes when we come back. So now with Smith needing to steal 3 to tie this game. Here we go. He's doing what I was talking about earlier. Rather than throwing a center guard, it's awfully tough to stack 3 steel rocks behind one center guard. He's going to throw a corner. And his whole thought process is to somehow at least give himself a chance to get 3 in the house behind cover. And it'll also put one over there, makes a tick shot really tough. One thing you could potentially see Kim do with this, you could see him purposely push it into the rings. I think he's just going to throw it away, actually. You could make an argument for purposely pushing that into the rings, losing your shooter, and then forcing Jason to decide, okay, do I guard that? Because if not, Kim can hit it. But I think fewer rocks in play, the better. Throw another one. You could also throw a second corner. It's a bit of an awkward position to be in, having to somehow try to steal 3 in the last end, especially at this level against a team like this. Needless to say, that the percentages of such a situation are not all that favorable.
No. Ooh. This one's looking a bit heavy.
It's going to be
come right down.
Basically right next to the one that he just played.
Yep.
And not too happy with that one.
Kim looking to put one in the house at this point.
You could still make an argument for throwing this one through, too.
Yep.
I think he's calling for them to go just top 8, top 4 wide open. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that either.
No, because Jason would still have to deal with it at some point.
Well, and the only other thing to think is that any stone in play is something that Jason could potentially hide behind.
True. Yeah, so it's got to be at least 8 foot.
Yeah.
The weight looks pretty good here. It's going to be about top 4. T. Oh, it's going to sneak back a bit.
Actually settles to the back 4.
Yeah.
Still not a huge concern. It's tough to hide anything behind that, and yeah, you can freeze to it, but
Yeah.
1, so what?
Yep.
Looks like he knows what's coming next. Kim team will be able to peel on their next shot, so he's actually going to guard the double on those 2 on the right.
Oh, is it going to get over?
It's just barely over, I think.
Yep. Oh,
Hard to get much higher than that.
cutting it close.
But as it is, it ends up not really covering the spot where the
No.
double would be made anyways. I don't think there's much of a danger of it jamming on that 1 in the house.
Oh, they're going to go for the high guard anyways.
Just
And I don't blame them.
yeah, just this. They just need to keep it simple, get rid
Yep.
of 1 stone at a time. Sooner or later, Jason's team is going to have to start coming into the rings. Can't keep throwing guards. They need 3 of these to count. Imagine he might come in maybe now.
I think you're right.
Yep. Matt must be getting kind of warm. He doffed the hood, the toque, or whatever it was he was wearing.
Looking like another great draw by Matt.
Oh man, has he had a whale of a game.
It's about even with that red one in the back 4.
Hey, you know what's coming next. They're going to try to get rid of both of these. Just hit that yellow guard on the left, as we're looking at it, on the left side a bit. Might go flying towards the rings in some respect, but don't think there's much of a danger of it jamming on that red in there. Close.
And he gets it. Oh,
It is going to go right onto that one. But it's going to bounce off.
Wow.
Spinning the correct direction, so
And it is
out of
out.
play it goes. I should have known better than to make any call about angles from our side view.
Yeah.
Can't see anything over here. So now at this point, not a whole lot to do.
No, you got to hope for a miss.
You got to hope for a collection of misses.
Yeah. Looking to set one just behind the tee. It's looking a bit deep, though.
Definitely not light. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. This one sneaks all the way through the rings.
And they decided to...
That's handshakes.
Yeah, they're going to shake. They realize they're not going to be stealing 3 at this point.
Ouch.
So, it's going to go in the books as a 7-4 Kim victory over Smith. And we're going to take a quick break. And right after this, we're going to turn our attention to the Dunham-McCarville game on sheet E, and we will have that for you in just a minute.
Switching over to the Dunham-McCarville game. Both tied at 5 here in the 7th.
Dunham playing yellow has the hammer. Carville red, the only stone in the rings. Carville team is now throwing their last thirds rock. Looking to play a guard, I figure. Oh, no, they're playing a come around. Said it before to those of us who were watching before, but if you're joining us for the first time, the only overheads we have access to on the stream are on sheet C. We don't have overheads for any other sheet, so don't really have any way to look at how buried anything is. We've only got the view that you have. We've got our little window view, which is on the side. So what we can see is rather limited. Dunham team having a long discussion about what to do here.
Looks like they're going to peel the guard.
Third Cody Klauser is in the hack, about to deliver his final stone of this end. We'll be down to just skip rocks.
Might be going for a run back.
Just misses everything, makes the peel. Carville sitting 2 in the rings in the top of the house.
McCarville looking at possibly drawing a third one in.
He could be lining up some kind of a tap, too. Mike having finally come to a decision. By that ice looks like maybe coming around that one that's in the, just biting the top of the 8-foot.
I think you're right. Sounds like it's about back 4 weight. Sweepers are staying close. It's going to be a little deeper.
Gives Dunham something to follow in there, though. Got a handshakes on sheet D, which Ruonen will defeat Dominic Markey-Rink, a score of 6-3. Elevates Ruonen's record to 3-1 in their pool. Drops Markey to 1-3. This is Scott Dunham's first stone of the 7th end. He has the hammer playing yellow.
Looking to freeze down in that back one, but I think it's going to be a bit heavy. It does get the tap.
Taps, but gets shot stone.
Looks like McCarville's going to opt to try to freeze down on that one again.
Last is on the way, looking for the freeze. Looks like this has some moving to do.
Oh,
slides right by. Oh. So Dunham with a chance to pick up 2. Just needs to touch the 4-foot.
Sweepers are on it right away.
They yelled out as soon as he let it go that it needs it.
And he gets it.
Well swept.
So Dunham up 7-5 going into the 8th.
We'll have that for you right after this. Dunham now with a 2-point lead. McCarville playing red has the hammer. They need to get 2 to force an extra end. Dunham will be doing everything they can to prevent that. For the corner. Looks pretty good.
Dunham looking to either put one right on the center above the house. Oh, looks like he's going for the freeze.
Yeah, just stack them both in the top of the 4-foot there. Something that Mike's going to have to deal with.
Sweepers are close. They have to go hard. Oh. They're going to leave it short.
Well, kind of caught in between. It ends up
Yep.
just grabbing hold. Again, assuming this corner is made, we'll have a good look at how Team Dunham approaches the 5-rock rule. Up 2 without. You could make an argument for maybe just guarding the entire situation in the middle.
Mm-hmm. This one didn't move too far away from the center.
It looks like the center guard is what they're going to play.
Weight looks close on this one.
I'd like it to stop. Looks pretty good.
Yeah. Right on the center.
Now, Mike's thinking about, all right, what's my best way of dealing with this? Yeah, I have my corners, but first I have to make use. He does have room to just draw in there for second. But I think it might be prudent to move something off the center line. I think maybe he can see a piece of that top 12 biter.
I think you're right.
He's just calling for the draw. Suppose he's hoping that he'll have a pass at the shot stone later on.
Sweepers are on it. Oh.
Ooh. That's not really going to help the cause.
Made that center even more difficult to deal with.
Cody's going to come down and talk about it. Thinking, do we start blowing stuff up? Or do we just keep junking it up?
Looks like they might try to just replace that red one with their own. Move them around a little bit.
And this kind of situation is some of what comes up because of the 5-rock rule. The team that's ahead can't really peel when they want, so they have to throw more rocks in play.
End up rolling out a little bit.
I think Scott was momentarily worried that it might actually hit their stone in the house on the top of the button. That would obviously be just disastrous.
Yep.
I'm still wondering what's the best way to approach this. I really think you got to do something about the middle here.
Kind of like that call he was looking at, running that red back into that center yellow and
Red into yellow and
roll over to the side a bit.
If you see enough of the red, maybe you can even catch the button rock too.
True.
Just open it up and simplify something. Give him some kind of chance to use the guards that he has. Make this curl gets just a piece, and
I think they're going to be sitting second.
I don't know. It kind of corkscrewed back right
at
the
the
end. So it's hard to tell from this position who's second.
Might have even ruined their chance at running that red one back.
Maybe.
Because I think it was open to the shot stone there in the top 4.
And I think the one that they just bumped to that spot is they can't do anything with it again because there's a red guard in front of that.
Ay.
Ooh.
Well, I don't think it's a terrible result, but I don't know.
It's so hard to know because we don't see the lineups back here. So it looks like were they trying to go through the hole and hit that red?
I think so.
Okay, and it just kind of took off and they tipped
Yeah.
it. The only thing is, I think the one that they bumped into the side of the forefoot there. Well, one of the things that happened is I think by chipping that guard over, they kind of created a path, sort of framed by the reds on one side and the yellows on the other. They I think can get in there now and tap the top button stone back.
Looks like about hacked board weight. Maybe not even.
It's just like back line or so. Maybe.
Yeah. It's coming through.
Oh. Tap it back. That's
there we go.
Really nice shot.
Might be sitting second.
Yeah, it's close. I would guess that they are.
Yeah.
I think the Dunham stone on the side of the forefoot is now shot.
Ooh.
This is his brother Andy Dunham in the green hat there talking about maybe throwing a guard.
If they don't guard, then, or if they do guard, there might be a chance for McCarville to move the yellows around a bit on coming from the right, the far side there. But again, don't know how much you can see of that yellow on the far side of the forefoot.
The rest of the team seems to really like throwing a guard. Not really sure what else you do unless maybe you throw an in-turn draw around the wide left side, get around the guards, and come down to your own, stack another one in there. I don't really know if that helps you.
Unless you could just hit it out too, but you don't want to leave something that McCarville can just freeze in there either.
Well, I know Scott was talking about trying to tap that red back, and I think that's what they're playing based on that broom.
Just trying to push it into the back 8, back 12.
Yep.
Weight looks a bit light. Sweepers are on it. Might just got the tap.
But how far?
Oh, good shot.
Really nice shot. Tap it far enough to be sitting what looks like third.
Yeah, so Dunham sitting 2 in the forefoot.
With a stone in the top 8, they're in pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, and that yellow's now, their shooter's now blocking that port.
Yeah. Carville and his third having a discussion about what to do here. Maybe you can come through that same port, tap one yellow into another, kind of split them around, leave your own up there to be raised. I mean, I think at this point, he's concerned that trying desperately to set up 2. It's looking tough to even score 1 at the moment.
Looking at coming around from the left, tap that shot stone back.
And I was wondering if that was there too. I think that might be best option to at least get one in there into potential scoring position. Any kind of tap down the middle that the Dunham team just played would be probably at best 4th count.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not really good enough. Mike's only got 3 rocks left, and he has to score 2 just to send this to an extra.
It's close.
Is it by?
It is by.
It is by.
Oh,
What
got a
great
little
shot.
roll in.
Oh man, they're shot stone too.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Keeping this interesting.
Oh, very interesting. Dunham team has that top 8 stone that they threw on their last shot to tap up into the pile. Looks like that's what Scott rather is going to play.
Scott's already in the hack, and the rest of his team's still discussing.
We've seen this before, haven't we? They're talking about throwing a guard.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Scott was pretty firm about playing the tap. I mean, he broomed it and slid right down.
And they've already thrown it once, so
Yeah,
they know.
they've come through there a couple of times.
They know what it should do.
I don't know. The rest of the team seems to just love throwing guards, and I don't think Scott's in love with that. He hasn't been for a couple of shots now. Pretty important game as far as pool ranking goes. McCarville is the only undefeated team left in that pool at 3-0, and Dunham is at 2-1. Very interested party in this game is the Rich Runin team. They currently stand at 3-1. They're all behind the sheet watching. So, Dunham's first shot on the way. Looks like they're trying to come through the hole, make the tap.
Sweepers are going hard. Oh,
Through?
they're through. A little tap.
Taps it pretty hard.
I think they're shot, but
I think they are, but they move the backer far enough that it can be bumped again.
yeah. And then I really wish we had a better angle at this.
Yeah. One thing I wonder, if can Mike come through that port, hit the one just played, drive it onto the other two, and like almost make a double or almost like a triple kind of deal, and bring his back 8-foot stone into play maybe?
Potentially. That yellow one in the center back button might get caught on it. Maybe not. I think that's what they're looking at, though.
I think he's looking if the lineup is there. Just drive it kind of onto a piece of that shot stone. Send it back, send the one next to it sideways, and the one that you're hitting would go off to the right. Maybe end up sitting 2 with that back 8-foot red stone being second shot.
They're actually, I think they're looking at running the red into the yellow.
Okay, so maybe he can't see the spot
Yeah.
that he needs to hit on that yellow for that shot to work. But maybe he can see it off his own.
Because Dunham's first actually rolled to the outside a hair.
Yeah.
So it must be covered a bit, or just they can't see the right spot. It's a lot of granite to move.
The whole team is back between the hog lines looking at what they can see and what they have. Mike is thinking he actually has to play a double run, red, yellow, 2 yellows. Kind of like a double run back double. I think that's what he's looking at. Maybe he thinks he can't see enough of the yellow and he can't see enough of the first red. Maybe he has to hit the high one. Two teams aren't going to have a whole lot of time to recover, and neither will we. The next game is in an hour and 20 minutes. So it looks like double run back, red, yellow, onto the yellows in the 4-foot. See what happens.
Coming with some heat.
Ooh.
Oh, close.
Made a lot of rocks move, but really got pretty unlucky, actually. Ended up stuffing it on the back and still leaving Dunham's shot, but now
and dead buried behind.
Dead buried behind 2, and I think the stones in the middle are now overlapped.
Yep.
It's looking like it's going to be tough for him to get 2 now.
Yeah, now Scott's opting for the guard.
I think the guard is the call. I don't really see what Mike has to get 2.
No.
He's got to somehow move that shot stone. And I think even that's pretty tough to do right now.
I think the red one in the top 4 is also buried behind that yellow on the far side of the center.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way of getting to that. That would be the only realistic way of moving the shot stone is to hit that red, but I don't think you can. Get those two, the red yellow that are really close to the rings are pretty much overlapped, so you can't run either of them.
Weight looks good.
Well, looks like it does the job, and now Mike's got to see, do I have anything?
He might end up playing another double run here.
I think he's looking at maybe hitting the one just thrown into the red, onto his own red, to try and double out the 2 yellows that are in the 4-foot. hard to say if that's even there. I don't know if there's, is there any way that he could maybe, that one that's way over on the side, almost on the sideline, can he like just paper thin, almost redirect that, redirect off of that? I think that's actually
Into
what
the center?
that's what his player there is suggesting. Like a super, just almost a wick.
Yeah, off
Just,
the,
just off of that one that's almost on the sideline
the
there.
yellow one.
Yeah,
Yep.
just
Yep.
paper off of that one into there. That's
Yeah,
that might be the only shot he has. And the question is, can they stick it, and B, will the yellow shot stone, will it go flying, or will it just stuff on the red behind it? Because if it does, it's not for two anyways. But I don't.
they're also looking at yellow to yellow on the left side of the center there.
I don't really. Well, I think it's all a question of if you make contact with the red, where is that yellow going? And man, oh man, I wish we had an overhead to be able to tell. I think he's playing the thin redirect. All right. This is so thin. You're basically playing to pretty much miss that stone, like just by a fraction. So all or nothing.
Ooh.
Way too fat. So that's going to go in the books, I believe, as a steal of one for Dunham, and he's going to pick up the win, 8-5 over Mike McCarville. And that is going to conclude our coverage of the 10 a.m. draw from the U.S. Open of Curling. And we'll be back at 2 o'clock with Todd Burr versus Brandon Corbett. I think Evan and I are probably going to go get some lunch.
Yes.
And we will see you all back here then at 2 o'clock Central.
Thanks for watching.